Good morning. Welcome back or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. It's day 9 and I did fix my camera and then it's reverted now that it powered down again. I spent an hour yesterday in the Apple shop and we fixed it, and it was all about consent and permissions and this upload and we shall begin today by continuing with the sense of our feet coming to stand, feeling the power in our feet as we really explore the spinal wave. I love the spinal wave. It's something that when I'm left alone in my own practice, I'll just start doing spinal waves a lot. They really move me, literally. So great. Come sit on your mat and we shall meditate. So disappointed that my camera worked and now isn't working again. Anyways, great, cool. The lovely guy in the Apple shop actually turns out to be a morning yogi. And so we had such a great chat while we fixed the computer. So, Alan, I think I need more help. I love this community. It's really so random where I'll meet you. It's beautiful. So come smell your aromatherapy. Nice. And then just rub it down through your arms, through your legs, through your belly, your back. Nice. And then pause. Let's come sit together. As you sit, as you pause, as you really deepen into the floor, how is this moment in your body? What is the felt sense of now? So the feeling tones, the sensations, the different layers of sensations. It's like there is the feeling of the air, or if there's a draft, the temperature of the room, feeling of my clothing, the sense of my skin, not in relationship to the world around me, but just the container of me, the sense of my muscles, my bones, my deep organs. Then there's the textures of my nervous system as they travel down through me, or the flow of the blood through my body. What are you drawn to this morning? And not your thinking mind, but your being body. What is your being body being? Just another 20 seconds. What is your being body? Mine has a bubbling sense of joy through my chest, through my heart, as I love the play of words. Nice. So stretch your legs out long, or if you're sitting in a chair, just stay where you are and just roll into your ankles. Those big circles with your ankles. And then roll in the other direction. Nice. Flex your feet, point your toes. Flex your feet, point your toes. Flex your feet, point your toes. Nice. May do the same with your hands. Roll your wrists in big circles, making fists out of your hands. Sitting up tall, deepening your breath into your belly as you do this. And then roll in the other direction, stretching into your legs as you do this. So let's multitask. Let's lengthen and rise to our spine as we roll into our wrists. Open your fingers wide, open your toes wide, sit as tall as you can, and then squeeze everything in. Open wide, squeeze, open wide, and squeeze. Nice. Roll your shoulders, big circles. And as you roll your shoulders in big circles, notice already that as you draw your shoulders back, your chest moves forward. And as you draw your shoulders forward, your shoulders move backwards, or your spine moves backwards. So exaggerate the movement of your spine. And often I feel like if I close my eyes, I can feel my spine more. It's like I'm limiting some of my sensory input so I can take that attention and bring it into the sensations of my spine, and then roll in the other direction. How is it to roll your shoulders, and what effect does that have on your spine? Nice. Draw your right shoulder up, your left shoulder down. Draw your left shoulder up, your right shoulder down. And as you do this, what happens in your spine? And do you let your head follow the dropping shoulder, or do you let your head follow the rising shoulder? So try both. As your shoulder rises, bring your head, it doesn't have to travel so far in that direction, but it just doesn't fall down. I'm always finding this kind of sense of center, a bit like a chicken. And then, as your shoulder drops, let your head follow the dropping shoulder. I think I prefer the chicken one. The chicken one has more of an S shape to it. I'm feeling this really nice sense of an S shape as I bring my head to the rising shoulder. What do we do today in yoga? And then roll your spine like a skipping rope. Be like a Brillo pad on the inside of a barrel and clean the inside of the barrel with your rib cage, with your belly, and then roll in the other direction. You might find sitting on the floor doing these movements that already your spine is challenged, that your legs are challenged by this. Great. Sitting on the floor, if you have a floor at home, sit on the floor. So come into your child's pose. Sitting on the floor, people often ask, what movements can I do to strengthen my spine? What movements can I do to open my hips? What movements can I do to help my knees, to help my feet? Sit on the floor. So resting into your child's pose, supporting your head in whatever way you do. And breathe into the back of your body. So as you inhale, that you actually feel the skin stretching at the back of your body. Nice. Walk yourself over towards the left side or whichever side you've just gone to. You can have your head still on your hands, or you can reach your arm forward. I'm reaching my right hand over towards the left as I lean deeply into the right side of my ribs. And notice, is your head moving towards the left more, towards the dropping shoulder? Or is your head moving towards the right shoulder, the rising shoulder? Or is it somewhere in between? Nice. Come back to center. Roll, walk over towards the right. I'm going to reach my left arm long. And I'm going to notice, if I bring my ear more towards the right shoulder or more towards the left shoulder or more to the middle. For me, middle is good here. Nice. Come all the way. Hands and knees. Round your back. Arch your back. Round your back. Tuck your tailbone under. Tuck your chin in deeply. Arch your back. Lift your tailbone. Lift your head. Round your back. Arch your back. So come to a neutral spine and only then move your tailbone. So tuck your tailbone under, arch your lower back. So I'm only moving my pelvis. So it's like I'm doing a pelvic tilt, but I'm in a cat pose. So round your back, arch your back, round your back, arch your back. And then do only your head. So drop your head forward, lift your head up, drop your head forward, lift your head up, and then keep your pelvis and your head steady and move the middle of your back only. So it's like I pull my ribs a little bit backwards, or I pull my ribs into my body at the front, and then I drop my ribs down, but my head's not moving. I'm trying not to move my pelvis. It wants to follow. My pelvis just wants to follow it, but I'm going, no, only ribs. Ribs forward, ribs backwards, ribs forwards, ribs backwards. So we're going to segment our spine. So pelvis tucks under, ribs pull backwards, head drops down. Pelvis arches, ribs drop, head lifts. Pelvis, ribs, head. Pelvis, ribs, head. So the movement starts in the pelvis every time. Pelvis, ribs, head. Pelvis, ribs, head. So see if you can make it smooth. But as soon as I make it smooth, I have to make sure that I still am maintaining the movement starts in the pelvis. So how would you make it even more, rather than 3 segments, how would you make it 26 segments of movement or something? How would you make it 10 segments of movement so that it's much more articulated? Always starting the movement at the pelvis. Nice. Sit your bum back. Child's pose. Pause. Nice. Walk yourself over towards the left again. Reach your right arm long. And reverse yourself backwards a bit so you're not all the way down with your head and squished down towards your knee. Instead, you're kind of halfway up. You're not up, you're not down, but you're halfway. And then round your back. And as you round, it's going to pull deeply into that right arm. And then as you arch, it's going to push more into the left arm for me. Round, it pulls into the right. Arch, it pushes into the left. Round and arch. Round, arch. Nice. Change sides over towards the right side. Left arm is long. I'm halfway up, so I'm neither up nor down. I'm kind of halfway. The Goldilocks version of it. Not too small, not too big, just right. So round, arch, round. So what I noticed there is that my hands were too far out and there was no movement happening in my spine. So I drew my hands closer and then I have movement. Round, arch. So when I'm rounding, I can feel that I push into my hands. When I'm arching, I could almost lift my hands off the floor. The action of lifting my hands is the same as arching. Come back, push back, downward dog. So drawing back through your heels, stretch back through your legs. Pause. Maybe there's movement happening. Maybe there's stillness happening. Maybe there's waves happening. How would you let this movement be juicy? That could be stillness. That could be motion. That could be wiggling. It could be rolling. I tend to always just start moving in things. That's just the nature of how I connect. Super. Drop your knees down and bring yourself up, and then bring your right foot forward. So my right foot is forward, my hands are on my hip, and then feel as you lean forward that there's more weight into that front foot. And then as you lean back, you could almost lift your foot off the floor. Maybe do, try. Lean forward, and then lean back, whoop, forward, lean back, and lean forward. I'm not sure I'm doing what I said I would do, so I create a title for a class and I go building from the ground up, spinal waves. And then I hope that I will do that, but I'm not sure. We're doing something. Up. And so I know that years ago when I used to do the Friday night class, this was a movement that for me always a bit tricky, whereas loads of the other girls in the class, or ladies or women or people, I found this movement easier than I did. Lift, drop, lift. Nice. Try the other side. Left foot forward, lean into your leg. Yeah, this is the one that I find tricky. Lift, 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 lift. One more time. Lift. Great. Come back to the first side. Right foot is forward. Bring your right elbow to your right knee. Lengthen your left leg long behind you, and then turn your left foot so it's at a 45-degree angle. So my elbows resting on my floor, on my elbows resting on my thigh, forearm, and I'm going to draw the left shoulder back and bring my left hand to my left hip. I'm kind of scooching around, just seeing, how do I connect? So baby toe side of my feet, on both feet, but especially the left foot. I'm going to feel like I'm really filling into the big toe side of my foot. So I'm not collapsing, or it's not empty. My feet are really active. I have a sense of a lengthening in that left leg. I'm going to squeeze my bum a little bit. And then from there, what do I do with my torso to engage my torso? So we're going to experiment. So if you were to round your spine, but so remember earlier, we did a thing where we had our pelvis and our head stayed steady. We just moved the ribs. So how would you pull your ribs backwards here, or send your ribs forward? So if I send my ribs forward, kind of everything goes blah. Whereas if I pull my ribs backwards, I feel the Spider Woman kind of feeling. I'm like, it's like everything's connecting suddenly. So I'm now going to really contain my ribs into my body, and suddenly my leg feels really strong on the left. My whole torso feels connected. My spine feels connected. Drop your left arm down, reach it long beside your ear. Contain your ribs. So another way of saying that is shorten the front, lengthen the back. Bring your ribs closer to the front of your hips. Tuck your ribs in. Draw your navel backwards. Round your back would be another one, or begin the process of rounding your back. Nice, both hands down. Step back, downward dog. Again, draw your ribs back. Your head stays in the same place, your pelvis stays in the same place. Ribs are widening backwards. Nice, drop your knees to the floor. Left foot forward. Left elbow down on your thigh. Lengthen your right leg. Right hand to your hip. Find your feet. So baby toe side of your feet. Deepening into my legs. Really strong and straight through that right leg. Squeeze my bum. And then let's try arching our back first. When I arch my back, my bum travels back, my chest opens wide, my chin lengthens up. Don't like it. I feel really blah. Whereas if I contain my ribs and draw my ribs backwards, suddenly I have the kind of feeling. How's your feeling here? Draw your ribs back. So for me, it's like I'm pulling my trousers up. The things I say. So drop your right arm down, long beside your ear. Keep pulling your ribs into your body, or drawing your navel backwards, or rounding the mid of your back. But my head is staying in the same place, my pelvis staying in the same place, but it connects everything. Nice. Hand to the floor. Come sit on the floor. Pause. Just feeling your breath. Have a sense of this moment in your body. Close your eyes. Just feel your spine. For me, there's this really wonderful swaying feeling. Often when I get that, it means that my spine feels really like a tree swaying in the wind, feeling free, inhabiting its own cavity or its own torso. I have this swaying feeling. So see, how does your spine feel as you rest here, as you pause? Nice, come lie down. Lie yourself down, rest yourself down. Pause on the floor. Your knees can be bent, your legs can be straight. See what feels right for you. And so I will have a camera. I know I will. And we have done it before, so it will happen again. It's all about permissions and consent and access and all this kind of stuff that's very interesting. I work a lot with that. So I get it. Great computer, I get you. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Sunday Yum. We'll be on the floor, rolling around. Continuing with this rib thing. Really like it. Very nice. And so I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Ciao. Slán.